Well, I'm now joined by Tal Nathanel. Tal, thank you very much indeed. You're CEO of Showfields. Now, most people, I don't use that in a general sort of way, are thinking about closing physical retail stores at the moment. You're opening them. Are you mad or a prophet?
To be seen. Yeah, I mean, we internally in the company always like to say retail is dead and then long live retail. Last time you held a brick, I'm sure you saw that bricks are not going anywhere. Bricks are here to stay. We might go in some point. So the question is really what's that use? So yes, we see some brands and some retailers who are kind of changing, right? But we actually believe that the future is in physical. And as the world is to become more digital, I think it's kind of you touched earlier, physical is going to be more important. Humanizing, touching, interacting, understanding, all of those things can really need a physical dimension to them. This is why we are such big believers. It's a fact that there is more brands, more innovation, there is more cool things out there today than any other time in history. And yet retail is still inaccessible for 97% of those brands. So yes, you can see some stores are closing, but you haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg when it comes to those brands out there. So this is why.
So your concept is, in a sense, to give some physicality to those new products, new ideas that are, I suppose, getting lost in this sort of digital soup of lots of media that we can all explore 24/7.
Yeah, so we tend to think that because everything is online, we can actually it's easy to find things. But in a world where, search is optimized and, everything is in the tip of your fingers, actually we are very, very much limited, and that's to what we know. You only know what you know, and you don't know what you don't know. So you can search, it's great, but unless you know exactly what it is you're looking for, even in this digital age, it's very hard to rise above that noise.
Well, there's very little serendipity, is there, in search?
There is zero serendipity in search. There is only intention, and then we are kind of limited. So we believe that if we can create an environment where brands can very easily come and become physical, right? Create a physical touch point of the brand. By the way, this physical touch point doesn't necessarily mean we did this online, now let's copy paste it to offline. People are confused when they're saying, oh, omnichannel is having the exact same thing in multiple platforms. Omnichannel is actually complementary. So we help them understand what it is that their physical being mean. I think by that we're able to create fun experience for the customer. This is where serendipity can happen. Discovery. You walk into a space and you kind of just trust the curator. You walk into a space and you're able to get lost, see things, find things, and this is where serendipity happens.
Now your concept, if you could explain it to our viewers, it's not just about allocating a bit of shelf space to somebody who comes to you and says, I want to buy a bit of shelf space. It's much more curated than that. Maybe you can explain.
So I think that people tend to kind of think that space is the issue. There is more space today, as you pointed out, than before. Retail done right requires so many things. And when a brand wants to go physical, it needs to be able to do all of them very, 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 very well. It's about where we are, how we're going to be, how is our brand, which until today was digital, is going to look physical, how is it going to smell, how is it going to feel, who are we going to talk to, how are they going to look, what are they going to say to me, like what is the voice of my brand. So when we're thinking about helping brands becoming physical and turning retail into a platform, it's actually helping them go through all of those stages. By the way, the whole process is digital, so you literally go through 6 steps online where in the end you have a physical store. But it's really kind of tackling all of those things that brand needs to have in order to have retail done right, from community to art exhibitions to beautiful experiences to F&B ingredients to lectures to content, which is constantly revolving. It's a lot of things.
Now, for brands that have gone through that process, what's the most surprising thing that they've learned?
I think that when we are talking about digitally native brands, they have this notion that online is sales and offline is just experience, or we're going to find some brand exposure and stuff like that. I think that many of the brands that we are working with right now actually see that there is a new customer. There is a different customer in the physical realm than it's the digital one. There is different things. There are different SKUs which are more interesting, and there is retail is actually a great platform to sell more, to engage more. So I think that there is a very big gap of even with those brands on what can retail actually do for them. which is going to create very more interesting type of experiences because they would see, okay, this is not a marketing expense. We can actually drive value from here. We can actually develop new products. We can actually, drive new insights to want to change and develop our business. So
now, we talked a little bit about how difficult it is for the consumer to find these new products. How difficult is it for you to find those products in order to bring them into the physical environment?
So it's a great question because when we started this, I thought I understand direct-to-consumer brands. There is way more brands out there than I think anyone can imagine. There are so many beautiful things. I wish we had more space to just bring everything to life. We in the beginning it was chasing them. I think today, slowly, we get more brands approaching us. But really, when you understand what's the DNA of those brands, it's then relatively easy to understand where they are and kind of map the market, and that's what we did. There's so many beautiful things out there you cannot imagine.
Now, not only are you enabling entrepreneurs to grow their business, you're an entrepreneur yourself. What lessons have you learned of what the life of an entrepreneur is like?
Yeah, it's a hustle. I'm a very big fan of Thomas Edison, and he has one quote that I really like, and it goes, I think, good things happen to those who hustle while they wait. And this is kind of my approach to life. You have to do, push, build, and never wait. Just keep on.
So where can people go to have a look at what you've created?
Yeah, so our first store is located in the heart of New York, in Bond, corner of Lafayette, 11 Bond, which is, by the way, interesting because it almost became like center of gravity for direct-to-consumer brands. So just one block away from us, you can see Bendir, you can see Goop, you can see Reformation away. So this is there is a center of gravity for D2C brands to that neighborhood. We took this beautiful, crazy building, 105 years old, all made of bricks. This is the first place you can see us, but we are going to be in a city next to you very soon.
Fantastic. Well, proof point that physical bricks are still alive and telling a great story. Tal Nathanel, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.